Hi, I'm James the Box Office Artist, and welcome to part 2 of how to construct and draw my Thor from Thor Ragnarok piece. Again, this is the second video in this 3-part series, so if you have not watched the first part, please go watch the first part. That is actually more important than this video, okay? So please do watch the first video, the construction video. But after you're done the construction video and you got the drawing to this area where it is, it's fully laid out, this video we're going to get into inking it, okay? And in this video we're going to pretty much do basic inking, okay? So just the basic line, it's like cleaning up your drawing. So if you just wanted to clean up your pencils or clean up the construction lines, this is the video for you. So you could do this with just a regular pencil, okay? You would just maybe erase the guidelines and then clean it up, or you could go straight to ink like I am doing. Again, this is very, very basic. I'm not doing any cross-hatching. I'm not doing any shadows. Just very basic inking. Now, after you've done the basic inking, which is the base of it, if you want to get back in and start doing shadows and cross-hatching, well, that is the third video in this series where I talk about lighting and rendering. So you want to go check that out. But before you do that, check out this video on inking, and you can watch me ink this Thor from Thor Ragnarok right now. So, right now I'm going to go into the inking stage. Now, with inking stage, there are 3 different stages, okay? One is the general stage, where I'm going to just go over every single detail with the regular size micron, okay? In this case, a 005, because we are going to be drawing a little bit, I'm drawing a little bit smaller than I'm used to. So I'm not using any heavy black here. I'm just going to go in and try to get all the detail done, okay? And at that point, if you like what you see and you want to finish, by all means, stop at that point. From there, I'm going to start adding some shadow, okay? By adding heavier blacks, okay, to certain areas of the drawing, okay? And if you're done with that, you can stop. And then finally, I'm going to add a little bit of cross-hatching on top. So just to put in some gradation of light, which I will explain in a little bit, that is the third step, and that's how I personally like to finish, okay? So depending on your particular style, you will do what's right for you. But I'm going to show you the different stages of my personal inking. Now, you don't necessarily have to use an inking pen. You could do all of this with a pencil, all right? You could do all of this type of rendering with a pencil if you are not comfortable with ink. Okay, so let's get going right now. And I usually do like to start off with the head area. Usually I start with the eyes. Whenever I'm working with a character, I always start with the eyes. So now, even before this particular step, when you're finished your rendering, it's not a bad time to actually put it in a mirror if you're drawing traditionally. And when you put it in a mirror, you could actually see mistakes that you've made. If you're drawing this digitally, very easy to do that. You just flip your canvas, and then you can actually see if the proportions are working. You might be surprised at what you will see. Some things will be off. Maybe one eye is lower than the other. Maybe a shoulder is a lot longer, or like one arm is longer than the other. Some things you could really see if you just, flip the image. Look, take your piece of paper, look it up to the sun, or take a break. Go away for about, maybe about 20 minutes, go to the bathroom, have a snack, come back after you're done laying out, and you might see things that you didn't see before, okay? Okay, now let's draw in the details for the helmets here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in some of those details. Okay, I'm exaggerating this helmet just a tad. Just a tad, because one thing that this little bridge does, it can help give him motion. Around like that, okay? Now let's go ahead and draw in. Now if you want to use a French curve here, you can. If you want to use a French curve, or you want to use a ruler for these situations, I'm just going to freehand this. Draw a line that goes straight down. Now this is years of me doing technical illustrations, so I'm not bad at drawing straight lines freehand. Not bad, I say, not bad. But of course you can't beat using a ruler, Then I have this comes down here like this, so hopefully you outline this pretty accurately. Let's go out here like this and down. like this. Maybe one more down there like this and around. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw the circle that goes kind of like that. That's kind of where the ear is. Okay, so let's go back inside here. I'm going to draw in these little details inside here. And the line goes straight down, up. Actually, I added one more. That shouldn't be there, but okay. So now it's my version of Thor. Down, up, like so. Okay. Might add one more line here for detail here. One more line like so. Great. Okay. Now let's draw the other side. And interesting conundrum here. You see this? This will actually overlap this this part of his chest. I don't know if I want it to do that. Okay, so I might actually keep this behind for now. So I won't continue this drawing, but I will draw this part here. That part is this part. Draw a line down. Draw another line here and down like that. Okay, and then I'm drawing that line like so. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and draw the rest of his helmet here. Line that goes like this, that goes straight across like so, like that. Have this go down just a bit. Gonna do the same here, down like that. Bring this down. Draw another line that goes here and down all the way to this, all like that, and then we have a line that goes down, out, across, and back. There you go. Very, very intricate helmet that he has here. And you can add as much detail as you like. I'm going to add a little bits of detail here and there with it. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and draw his neck in. So as you can see, I have a guideline for his neck here. So draw a little line like that. And then you might notice that his particular costume here, he does have like this collar. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in that collar here, like so. Okay, and then he also has the collar on the other side, which go under his chin and down. So you could really feel that he's turning his head now. Okay. Now from this point here, I'm going to actually draw a semicircle. It'll go from here all the way across. This will go all the way down. Draw another semicircle that goes all the way across like this. Okay, you could add as much, again, add as much detail as you'd like to this particular character. Okay, I'm gonna draw a little triangle here, and now I'm gonna go ahead and draw down here. I personally can't find my ellipse guide, so I'm just gonna freehand this particular circle here. Now, here's an important tip. What you could do to make your ovals look right, if you want to freehand it, draw a line straight down the middle of your oval to where, you know, you think it would 90 degrees go in, you know, go straight down. Like this is going down the chest, so I would assume that it would go like this. This particular one, I would assume actually that it would probably not be like this. It would probably be more like that. The line would be going like this. If I was to draw a line that would go straight through the middle of this circle, straight through, where would that go? I would assume it would be like this. Then you know it's like half. This is half, and that's half. So I just use that as a guide. I'm gonna go ahead and draw that in, just like so. Okay, and then you can add your details here, as much as details as you want. Okay. And now I'm going to draw in some of this parts of his costume here, which he has going around like so. So just to analyze the costume of the character that you were drawing here. Just to draw in these details, but remember, all these costume details, they go around a body. They are not the body, okay? So he has a body, it's underneath all this stuff, okay? So just drawing in some of these little extras here, like that, okay? I'm going to go ahead and draw in some of these little extras. So again, it depends on how detailed you want to get with all of these things. So I'm going to draw a line that goes straight down here like this. So I'm just drawing in the costume details. Down. So, and I'm going to draw, and the satchel has some details here, so I'm going to draw a little square in here, and I'm going to draw another little square that goes here like this. So goes across like that, goes up, like so. Like this all the way through. This belt goes all the way around his body like so. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start detailing up the rest of his costume here. Okay, so what happens is this line goes through here, around, and down. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to draw a line that goes down like that, like so. Goes around like this. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw this other oval here. Again, you could use your ellipse guide if you want, but I'm just going to freehand it. And again, guys, I don't suggest freehanding unless you don't have an ellipse guide, which I can't find mine right now. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and draw the rest of this costume in. I'm going to go ahead and draw this part in here. So go all the way around underneath his body like so. I'm going to draw in these little details here. Okay? So go ahead, take your time. Add as much detail to this costume as you want. So as you guys can see, I'm going extremely detailed with this costume just because it is a very detailed costume. At the end of the day, concept artists like Andy Park, they really hit these costumes out of the park because it's really difficult to, one thing to design them, and number two, make them look good on camera. Because that's part of the challenge as well, making these costumes. It's one thing to design them on paper. It's another thing to ensure they look good in front of the camera. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw in the sword here. Now, what the mistake some people make is whenever they're doing a fist, when they're holding a sword, it doesn't look like there's anything in the hand. Okay, so usually when the sword's in the hand, your fist usually isn't like this. If you're holding it, right, the fingers would come up a little bit more. Okay, so you would actually see a little bit of the sword sometimes in between. Also, make sure that your hand position, okay, it's got to be 90 degrees. So in this particular case, here, actually this one might be a tiny bit up because I'm trying to follow the fingers. So it just has to match the hand, really, at the end of the day. So I'm going to try to match the hand here. Let's see how successful I get. So I'm going to draw a little straight line here, using a ruler this time. Okay. Just to make it feel like it's in the hand. One good thing I do like about this pose is that it will get to show off the curvature of the sword. Here, so depending on the reference that you look at, I'm actually going to use my French curve here. If you don't know what a French curve, this is a French curve right here. And what this does is it gives you a nice little curved line that some things you don't get when you're using a ruler. So you gotta be careful with this. So looking at how I drew the sword here. Oh, sorry, I have to move up my keyboard a tiny bit. It could help you get some really nice curved lines going. Maybe something like that. Now again, this isn't a necessity, guys. You don't need one of these. You don't need one of these. So I'm actually going to turn this one this way. Have this go out a little bit more like this. So I'm going to actually have this curve just a little bit more. Then actually have this go out. Have this actually curve in. Depending on the reference you're looking at, I'm looking at some toy reference here. Might not be 100% accurate, but if you could find proper representation. Just something like that. Okay. And then you could go ahead and draw in your details. The sword here. I might actually use a straighter line for this just so I get a little bit accurate where the middle is. Just freehand in some little details here. Maybe I'll go a little bit more accurate here. Something like this. And so on and so forth there. Okay, and one more thing I want to do is going to draw in the actual shield itself. Now, one advantage I have over you guys is I have these giant ellipse guides. Okay, so I got something that would actually work pretty well in terms of size. Now, I know a lot of you probably won't have something like this, so you will probably have to freehand that, maybe use the French curve. Let me go ahead and draw. And it goes down, and I think I went too far already. Go down like that. Draw a line that goes up like this, goes around. Now this one I'm using, it's a 25. This is a 25 degree. Goes like this, around. Then I gotta do the other side. Like so, and we can always add more detail as you go along. I got my smaller ellipse guide here. I might use the 30 Probably the 30, which will go for the middle here, which would probably be roughly around here. Go ahead and draw in that ellipse like so. Grabbing my So again, you could have used your ellipse guide to make these circles here, but you know, if you're lucky enough to have an ellipse guide like this, and you don't need one of these, like it comes in a book, it's actually pretty expensive, you don't need something like this, but it's, you know, it is helpful if you have it. I've had this left over in high school, but I'll admit to you guys, or if I didn't have this in college, I probably would never buy something like this. It's not needed. Okay? It's just I happen to have it, right? So it's one of those things, nice to have, not necessary. You could go in, add all the little details you want, but I'll finish off that shield a little bit later, because I just want to finish off this particular drawing here. I know I've been drawing it quite a while right now. Okay, so we're almost on the first stage of inking here. All I want to do, and you could stop here, you absolutely could stop here. All I want to do is add one thing, and that is a thicker outline to the outside. I'm going to do that with a 0.5 micron. Okay, I'm going to do that with a 0.5 micron. And what this does is I'm going to outline with a thicker line the outline. What this does, it helps make it pop, and it helps me determine where all of the edges are. Okay, all of the edges in my particular scene here. So I'm going to run through the whole thing. This 0.5 micron, I might use a 0.8 as well. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so with the thick outline, you see what I was trying to do here. Just separating some of the parts. Now, I didn't have to do everything inside. Okay, I didn't have to do everything inside. What it is, I'm trying to really reinforce the edges. Now, there are some places, like for example, if I wanted to reinforce that this chest plate is a little bit separate from what's going on in here, I can, like so. Not necessary. Okay, so depending on your style and what you want to do, stopping right here is totally fine. It's totally fine. You know, again, you could get more detailed with all the interior details and all of that, right? You could definitely do that. But if you wanted to stop here, by all means, stop right here unless you want to go into phase 2. And this is where we start adding light to our particular character. Now, sometimes artists like to stop here because they want it to be done with colors, which you absolutely could do. From here, you could go grab your Copics or scan it in, and then you could go ahead. I didn't draw fingernails in here, but you could definitely take this at this point, bring this into the computer and start coloring it and doing the colors, doing the shadows that way. But if you want to do it in a more line art, more comic book style, that's what we're going to get into. Thank you for watching this inking video on inking Thor from Thor Ragnarok. A lot of fun to do. Now, again, I'm not done. Okay, so you could totally stop at this step. You could totally stop here. However, you know, if you wanted to go into more type of style I like, okay, go check out my third video where I talk more about lighting and I talk about rendering in ink Okay, this Thor Ragnarok there, you're gonna learn how to do cross-hatching and hatching, how I determine how the light hits the particular figure and how I go about doing that. So you could go check that out in that third video. And if you got all the way to the end here, but you did not check out the first video, please, please, please check out that first video. That's actually way more important than this particular video here. But I'm just thankful you are watching all of my videos. In fact, if you are new here, this is one of the first tutorials that you've seen from me. I would love to know what you think. Please do let me know in the comments down below. And please do, if you like what you see, if you hit that subscribe button, that's the like button, if you hit that subscribe button, I will be your friend for life. Please continue to follow me on all social media, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram at Box Office Artist, Facebook.com/TheBoxOfficeArtist, Twitch.tv/BoxOfficeArtist, and my name is James. I am the Box Office Artist. I'm here to say keep drawing, and I'll see you all next time.